All right, you guys, so we are here at the Pomona Reptile Super Show. And as we all know, reptile super shows are some of the biggest reptile shows out there. There are tons of reptiles that we're gonna check out. It's gonna be an absolute blast. So let's go. All right, you guys, so we are here with David from TikisGeckos. David, tell us a little bit about yourself and what reptiles you really focus on.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I focus on a lot of the New Caledonian geckos, gargoyles, cresteds being my favorite animals to work with. I developed some really nice red stuff with the crested, with the gargoyles. And then cresteds, I've been working with a lot of lily whites and high white stuff, pinstripes. There's so many morphs, it's hard to just pick one, you know?
Right.
So I work with a little bit of everything, yeah.
And how long have you been doing this for?
So the business, I started in 2011, but I've been keeping reptiles and animals all my life. Since I was a little kid, I remember like the first time I went to a reptile show, I saw crested gecko and that just like took it to the next level. That's why I started doing this.
That's awesome, brother.
Yeah.
So, I know you started this new project. It's called the Gold Gecko Standard?
Gold Standard Gecko Club, yeah. Yeah, so the Gold Standard Gecko Club is basically like a confirmation competition for geckos. We launched in May and we did the first show with just crested geckos because, you know, this past couple of years, especially after COVID, we had an influx of new breeders, new morphs, and some of these morphs are starting to question the ethics of our breeding, right? So I wanted to make sure that, especially with new people coming into the hobby, they knew that, you know, we want to have a standard. We don't want to just breed for color and pattern. It doesn't just have to look cool, it has to actually be functional and healthy. So that was the main reason why I started that. And it's just, I talked to a lot of experienced breeders when I was starting to develop this, and when I did the show in May, everybody from every experience level was just saying how there are certain things that we brought up that they didn't really see or they didn't really think about, and now everybody's starting to go back and look at their collections, which is ultimately a good thing, you know?
Right, absolutely. And honestly, guys, it's really important what he's doing. It's actually one of the most ethical ways of breeding reptiles. He's not going based off of colors, just the morph, but he's going off the, like you said, the functionality of the animal. If it has the proper head width, if the eyes are probably, it's so much about these animals that a lot of people have kind of lost over time. And that's really what matters. So honestly, you're doing a really good job in that, brother. I think it's great. And I hope that we can see more of that with, you know, with gargoyle geckos, and hopefully more with just other reptiles.
We will. So it's Gold Standard Gecko Club, and I'm gonna do the main gecko species that are kept, you know, like in the hobby. So cresteds, gargoyles, leopard geckos. I want to eventually get to lichianis and some of the other ones. But one of the reptiles that I've really noticed kind of like a decline in is bearded dragons. And my first reptile ever was a bearded dragon. I love bearded dragons, and I've noticed that over time people are starting to breed animals that are maybe their snout length is starting to get too short. They're starting to get really wide, really fat. And if you look at bearded dragons in the wild, they have a longer snout. They're not as fat as we keep them. They're more, you know, functional. They're more physical. They're able to run even as adults, you know? So that kind of stuff we want to keep in mind, because 10, 15 years down the line, we want to be able to still breed healthy animals, and we don't want it to be a car crash, you know?
Quality versus quantity.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Well, awesome, brother. So for any of the followers or any of the viewers, if they wanted to follow you or keep an update on you and your company, where would they find you at?
So we're TikisGeckos in every platform. We're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, everything. TikisGeckos, and then if you want to keep up with the Gold Standard Gecko Club, we're Gold Standard Gecko Club on Instagram and Facebook, and the website.
Awesome, brother. And just so you guys know, he has a TikisGeckos 2.0 as well. It's his backup page also.
Yeah.
Awesome, brother. I appreciate
Thank you, bro.
Son.
Appreciate you.
All right, you guys. So we are here at Botanic Wonders. I have Anthony Neubauer here. Anthony, tell us about what you guys do here at Botanic Wonders.
Yeah, so Botanic Wonders, we specialize in rare succulents. We specialize specifically in codex plants. So I'm going to pan you over to right here. This is a tortoise plant. So this is the codex here, which is basically like a modified root system. So the plant's going to be storing water in there, and then it will shoot a vine that will come up top. This is in the yam family, like I said, so it's kind of like a potato in a way, but obviously much more decorated than a standard potato. These are little seedlings here. You can see they get a leaf, so that big guy will get the same thing, a big vine and big leaf. And these are about 4 years old. You can see a well-started codex in there. And this is going to be about 15 to 20 years on the big one. And then another one of my favorite plants, probably my favorite plant all time, is Operculacaria. So we call this the natural bonsai. And you can see we haven't had to do too much to it. It ends up looking exactly like a small, or like a big tree, but much smaller. Gets a nice fat trunk, and it gets this really cool bumpy on the trunk. So
wow.
This is a little guy right here. That's how they'll start out.
So that little plant right there will turn into something like that as long as you bonsai it?
Exactly.
Wow.
That's about 15 years to that size, which is constant pruning, and then the trunk gets thicker.
That is insane. Awesome. Well, thank you, Anthony. Anthony, can you tell us, or can you tell the viewers where, if they wanted to get any of these codex plants or any type of succulent or cactus, where they would find you guys?
Absolutely. We have a website, www.botanicwonders.com. We're also on Instagram. That's the best place to see the newest stuff that's being listed, and that's just Botanic Wonders. And then we do all the trade shows in Southern California as well.
Awesome, brother. Well, I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, you guys, so we are here at Exoterra. I have Steve here. He is the U.S. brand manager for Exoterra. Steve, can you tell us a little bit about this new lighting system that you guys have?
Yeah, so I think it's our first chance where we're actually launching the Terra Sky UV to the general market. You know, we've been working on it for a handful of years. LED technology overall is changing almost every month, it seems. But we finally found the right mixture to launch out to the public. So I think the biggest thing that we've really done with this fixture is it's the first to the market that is a UVB, UVA, and visible light spectrum. It is also fully controllable. So it does come in with a remote control where you can actually reduce by 10% increments all the way down individually. So your visible light, so if you have a bioactive enclosure and you want to reduce the actual light because it's too bright and you have lower light quality plants, you can do that all the way down to where it's completely off. You can increase or decrease your UVA and UVB individually, so it's not like all of them go down in 10% increments. But it kind of gives consumers and hobbyists the ability to house it on any animals, right? So we have your frogs, you have your desert species like uromastics or bearded dragons, and then you could shut off all the UVB and completely and just do a planted terrarium if you don't want to use it. I think some of the differentiators as well between what's available out there from UVB LEDs in general is the light output. So all of the Exoterra ones have a 120 degree light dispersion. So instead of focusing the UVB and the radiation down in a really tight spot, it's much broader, so it makes it much safer for the animals to go directly underneath. Other thing on this, just because we kind of think about everything, once you get into like the mad lab of product development, we think of it as hobbyists, right? Like what are the problems that are gonna pop up when you have some type of fixture over a particular animal, like an aquatic turtle, for example, or you've got a misting system or fogger on top of your terrarium. So these things are all rated, so they're virtually waterproof. Now, they're not indefinite, right? Like you can't just dump it in an aquarium and have it lit up, but if it happens and an accident happens, you can unplug it, take it out, it's completely safe. You're also not gonna get any mineral buildup inside of the housing unit or dust because it is completely sealed. So it's a big problem when it comes to LEDs because we generally house them in human environments. They're not always going to be over a desert animal, right? You might want to do it over a chameleon or a crested gecko or a Europlatus gecko or something. So really, really interesting program on how we really looked at what the industry is doing and what it needs. And then more importantly, I think the tough is we don't know when we're going to be able to stop selling other versions of UVB bulbs, right? And I think that's the part of the story that kind of gets left out is we have to advance the hobby. We have to take some risk. We have to move things into where the rest of the global community is going. And I think we took a big step in doing something where we have something that is fully controllable.
Right.
All of our lighting charts, like if you look on the website and you scan the QR codes on the packaging, we have all of our light output. So we have everything measured from UVB, UVA, lux, lumens. We have all of our Ferguson zone scales too. So anytime you want like a cheat sheet on how to use it, we've got everything on there with a quick scan of your phone.
Awesome. And honestly, I just want to say kudos to you guys. I've actually used this lighting for one of my dart frogs, and it's absolutely amazing. I can actually control, if I take a UV reader and I control it, I can actually see it going down to the right lighting zone that I need for my dart frog. I think it's really cool. Kudos to you guys for not just throwing this product out there and really testing it and having it in development for so many years before releasing it to the public. You know, I know a lot of hobbyists are really afraid of the LED UVB because they feel that it can be really harsh.
Yes.
So kudos to you guys for throwing it out there when it's actually controllable and just making it a really user-friendly system.
Yeah, we try, and we'll keep on doing that too. Like, I think we have the ability to continue innovating. So sometimes it's like, well, we can do something different on the next version, and the next version of that we could continue advancing. So it's fun. It's fun when we get to do that. But more importantly, it's kind of like you got to push this industry into different areas, right? Like, I mean, you remember 20, 30 years ago, all we had were just giant T12 or T8 fluorescent tubes, and look what happens. You keep advancing and moving the needle, and then you perfect it as you go along.
Well, awesome, Steve. I really appreciate it.
Perfect. No, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, you guys. So we are here at the Triple O Reptile booth. I have Caesar here. Caesar, what did you just buy?
I just bought an albino Nelson's milk snake here from Triple O Reptile.
Okay. And how have you been wanting one of these for a while?
I've been wanting one of these for a long time. I can't believe I actually had one here.
Yeah, so we normally have the babies, but this is a pretty good sized adult. So I'm glad this one's going to you. Is this for a breeding project or?
It's just for a pet.
Just for a
I might
pet.
get into breeding later on.
That's awesome.
It's excellent quality here.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate the time, brother. I hope you enjoy your snake. All right, you guys, so I have Luis here at DDs Plants. Luis, tell me a little bit more about DDs Plants and what you guys specialize in.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So we travel a lot to reptile shows. As you can see, we're a plant booth, we're a plant vendor, but we put reptiles first. That's what got us into plants, our passion for reptiles. When we started keeping reptiles, we wanted to keep them in bioactive setups, but also our main emphasis is actual houseplants, exotic plants, and regular houseplants. As you can see, a lot of our reptiles are actually kept in bioactive enclosures, and the ideal environment for exotic plants is, a reptile environment. So that's what kind of got us into this, but yeah, we love traveling all around California, doing reptile shows, and yeah.
Awesome. Awesome, Luis. And so just for the viewers, where would they be able to find you guys? If not at a reptile show, where would they be able to order plants from you guys?
Yeah, so we don't have an official website yet, but we do a lot of live sales on different apps like Palm Street, Whatnot, and Instagram. Our Instagram is DDs.plants. You can find a lot of our cool content with our reptiles and plants and a lot of the cool things that we do traveling. So we're more than just a plant business. We love to do content creation and to just show off our animals.
That's awesome. And just so you guys know, they do a lot of live plant sales on their Instagram. It's pretty intense. I've tried to buy plants from time to time, and they sell like that. Well, awesome, Luis. Thank you for your time, brother.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. All right, you guys. So we're here at HighlighterChameleons. I have John here, the owner of HighlighterChameleons. John, tell me what we have here.
What's going on, guys? I'm Don, owner of HighlighterChameleons. We specialize in panther chameleons, first for Dallas. I got a Jelly Rancher right here. He's a Ambelobi. He looks like a rainbow. He's technically a yellow-bodied blue bar, but this guy has a lot of oranges. And he's not even fired up right now. He'll like, he sees another male or a female, he'll put his body like really big and change his brightest colors. But he's content right now, so he's not stressed or anything, or else he'd be like really dark and brown or black.
That's killer. Don, how long have you been working with chameleons?
I sold my first one in 2018, so about like 6 years. You know, I didn't even know they existed before, but yeah, honestly, and then I just like went crazy off the deep end and wanted to learn everything about them. And here we are.
And that's really kind of how it goes with any reptile, especially when you have a passion for them. Don, tell me, or tell the viewers, if they wanted to purchase a reptile from you or a chameleon, where exactly would they have to go to find that?
Well, definitely follow us on Instagram, highlighter.chameleons. You know, you can DM us on there. Check out our website, highlighterchameleons.com. And we also have a Facebook and a TikTok. So come out, and we have a YouTube as well. If you want, we have care videos and other informational stuff. So if you guys want to learn before you pick one up, check us out on YouTube as well.
Awesome, brother. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, brother. That was awesome. All right, you guys, so we're here. I have MasonBarns here. You might have seen him on TikTok or Instagram as MasonBarns. He's a really big content creator. Mason, what brings you here to this to the Reptile Super Show?
This is just the best show. I mean, we grew up here. We grew up in California, and you know, we live a state over now, but we'll make the drive. It's, you know, I mean, just this show alone is 6 acres because they added the birds and the aquariums and stuff like that. But it's what, 3 acres of Reptile Super Show for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a good show. It's a good time. Everyone flies out for it. We don't even come to shop around a whole lot. We come to like see friends that we haven't seen in 6 months, just to hang out. But it's a great time. It's traffic. You know, there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of foot traffic inside the building, but it's good. It slows down a little bit towards the end of the day. So
have you been to any of the other exhibitions yet? Any of the birds?
No, not yet.
No,
not yet. We're gonna try to do this in a day, and then probably do the other stuff tomorrow.
Did you see any of the plants?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit outside.
One thing I wanted to point out is check out this new tattoo that you just got, what, a couple days ago?
Yeah, this was Thursday.
It's Thursday. And what is this?
It's a Bell's Phase lace monitor. This is actually my exact lizard. His name's Saturn. He's about a little over 2 years old now. Okay. This isn't life size. He's 4 feet long, but this is a picture that I took, and my artist did a really good job putting it on me. So
absolutely killer.
It wraps around.
Wow,
that's awesome. Thank you.
So for any of the viewers that don't follow you already, where can they follow you at?
Just MasonBarns, at MasonBarns on Instagram, TikTok, all the places, YouTube. I mostly do monitor stuff. We do little geckos and stuff like that too, but a lot of big lizards.
Awesome, brother.
A lot of stuff with sharp teeth.
I appreciate it, brother. Thanks for your time.
Of course.
All right, you guys, so now that the show is over, I'm back home, and I'm so excited to show you guys all the cool stuff that I got at this show. I stopped over at my friends at Botanic Wonders, and they hooked me up with some really killer plants, and I could not pass up all those plants that they had. I got some cool cactuses, some cool succulents, and of course, you know I had to get those tortoise plants. Those things were awesome. Now these guys right here were the highlight for me. I've been looking for Peruvian deadleaf lizards for 7 years. That's right, 7 years. And I finally found them over at Herb Time. And I was so excited. I've never been able to find these guys at any show, and I finally got them. And I got 3 of them because I was not about to pass that up. I got a male and 2 females, so hopefully we'll have some babies in the future. I mean, just look at how rad these guys are. Look at that cryptic coloration, just looking like dead leaves. Out in the wild, these guys would be extremely hard to see, if you saw them at all. And here's another animal that I've been looking for years, a 6-eyed sand spider. He's kind of tiny right now, so he's a little hard to focus on. But needless to say, the Reptile Super Show has something for everybody. And in this case, it had a few things for me. I hope you guys liked this video. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you never miss a video that we put out. And I'll catch you guys next time. Whoop!